Hey everybody, thanks for being here. I finally got a chance to test ride an Indian Challenger. A dealer a couple hours from my house had an Indian demo day, so I rode up to check it out. I rode 3 bikes, a Challenger, a Chieftain, and a Springfield. I've already taken test rides on the Chieftain and the Springfield before, and owned a Chieftain, but I decided to ride them again anyway. The primary reason for that was based on experience. When I did my test rides before, I didn't have much of any experience on touring bikes. At the time of those reviews, I owned an Indian Scout. Now that I've put on a couple thousand miles on heavier bikes, I wanted to ride them again to see if anything has changed in my opinions. So let's start with the Springfield. This bike is in the same weight class as the Chieftain and the Challenger. It is a beefy beast of a bike, and it feels like it. It rides smoothly enough and has plenty of power, but to me it just doesn't feel as intuitive as the other two. It feels like you're riding on the bike and not in the bike, if that makes sense. The bike balance is okay, but feels a little top heavy to me. Still a great looking bike. Since this bike is the competitor to the Road King, I really do want to ride a Road King to see if it feels the same way. Next, on to the Chieftain. Many of you know that I used to have a Chieftain, had one for 3.5 weeks before I was rear-ended and the bike was totaled. And I really liked that bike for the most part. It was very well balanced, really powerful, and a lot of fun to ride. But as a short guy, I had a couple of comfort issues. My shoulders would hurt after about 45 minutes from reaching for the bars, or if I would lean forward to ease my shoulders, my lower back would hurt. The other issue was head bobble. At higher highway speeds, there was some head bobble with the OEM windshield. This test ride confirms those challenges for me. While I enjoyed the ride, it didn't take long for the shoulder ache to set in, and at highway speed, the head bobble came back. Indian's answer for the shoulder ache is the reduced reach bars, which are longer bars made to make it easier for shorter people to reach. This leads me to the Challenger, which is the one bike I had not yet ridden before. The Challenger I rode had reduced reach bars installed on it, and they really helped with the comfort level. So that was a good confirmation to know that the reduced reach bars do help for short people like me. I didn't notice any head bobble on the highway, but we only got up to about 60 or 65 miles per hour. On the Chieftain, we went, let's just say we went faster and leave it at that. So let's talk about riding the Challenger. But first, a quick commercial break. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. I would really appreciate that support, and hit the notification bell, hit that like, that would be great. Thanks. On to the review. The Challenger is smooth to ride and has plenty of power as expected. I was a little nervous getting on this bike. It looks a little daunting for a rider like me who has only been riding for 2 years. It only weighs a few pounds more than the Chieftain, but it looks much more imposing in my opinion. But in reality, it was easy to ride, was very well balanced, and leaned easily into the turns. I'm not a huge fan of the look of the shark-nosed fairing, but it was a comfortable ride. 2 things stood out to me on this. First, which I'm sure you all know, the shark-nosed fairing sits farther forward, so getting to the touchscreen means leaning forward a little bit, which I would prefer not to have to do. The other thing is the reduced reach bars. Yes, they were very helpful with my comfort level, but I found them a little too low. Part of that is being used to riding my Harley Heritage, where the bars have 8 or 10 inches of rise on them, putting my hands about shoulder level. I personally think the reduced reach bars should have some extra rise on them as well. Bringing them up 3 or 4 inches would be great. But all in all, this was a very nice ride and a lot of fun. Now that I've finally ridden the Challenger, to be quite honest, I would say it's a slightly better ride than the Chieftain. It seems to handle the wind just a little bit better than the Chieftain does. I'm not sold on it yet without doing another comparison with the Street Glide and Road Glide. I'm hoping to be able to do those rides again now that I have more experience on bigger touring bikes, so that I can do a better comparison. Regardless, if you're looking for a touring bike, Indian makes phenomenal bikes with all the options you need to make the ride comfortable for you. If you're in the market, check them out. It's worth the time. That's it for this one, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you on the next one.